On this week's show, we discuss networking skills.
In the news, can my landlord control my heating?
Welcome to the Property Investors Podcast. Thanks so much for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe so you never miss an upload. You can catch us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Enjoy this week's show and don't forget to share it with all your friends.
Welcome to the Property Investors Podcast. My name's Alistair Cunningham.
I'm Ben Mack from the Best Apartment Client Performance.
So today we are very fortunate that we have a wonderful Ben Mack on today, and he's from Client Performance team within our business. So we thought we'd up the game a little bit and bring in some new faces.
The cream of the crop.
Just to let everyone know that we are actually a large company and we've got a lot of staff, and we want to give them a little bit of time just to talk about what they do and to just express their love of the company. So Ben, why don't you tell our wonderful audience what your role is and what's your part within the business?
So basically what we like to do is we look after all our academy members. We monitor their property journey. We see where they're up to, what they'd like to do, and then we sort of try and fill in the gaps. So if they need like a broker or a solicitor, or they don't know what avenue to take next, we can like try and pull in them relevant people for them to help them along the way.
And you're speaking to an awful lot of, you speak to a lot of academy members, you speak to lots.
They tell us everything.
I know you're very favourable amongst the academy members.
So.
They do, they love you, they love you a lot. And I know you're on call to them a lot as well. So
they even make me sandwiches. I got a bowl of rice at the last event.
Oh, from Glad.
Gave me a bowl of rice.
Yeah,
so,
she came up to us and she said, I've made you all lunch.
So if I get food poisoning, we're kicking you off the academy. So anyway, less about myself. So let's talk about you, Mr. Cunningham. What's been going on?
Okay, so in the last sort of 7 days since the last podcast, we made a little bit of history, to be honest. We had a crash course running at the same time as an academy event. Both of them had 500 people at each. Really good. The logistics of that is a nightmare, as I'm sure you can imagine, and our viewers can imagine. Hosting two events at the same time with 4 different speakers.
Scary, but exciting.
It's a big job. It's a big job. And we pulled it out of the bag. So it was all amazing. The feedback forms coming from both events are very good. Very, very good. The feedback has been amazing. All the feedback we hand out feedback forms at all the events, and all the ones that were handed in were 8 and above. So it's really good. And I know you deal with this with the client performance, it's amazing.
But the people at the launch pad had the highest success rate of getting back in touch with us, filling out the forms.
Oh, really amazing!
Which is important.
The launch pad, for those that don't know it, is the first event you do on the academy, and it's not actually about property. It's more about just getting you in the right frame of mind to goals, learn and to know where you want to be in 12 months. I've had lots of messages over the weekend from people that said that they had no idea why they were actually doing this, but now they have a really, really clear understanding. It was really powerful. But forget property for a minute. Yesterday, do you know what I done yesterday?
Oh God, go on.
What did I buy 3 months ago? Vroom, vroom.
You didn't buy me anything, so what was it?
Didn't buy you anything. No. 3 months ago, I bought a Porsche.
Oh, I lent you the money for that, didn't I?
Oh, yeah, you did, yeah. I'll pay you back, don't worry. We'll have it on a JV. So anyway, I bought a Porsche, right? And part of buying a Porsche is you get a free Porsche training day. You get to go to Silverstone, which is the national circuit.
You take a +1?
No, well, I've already done it, so it's too late.
Oh.
And you get to, you spend half a day with a Porsche-approved driving trainer, and you get to go out on the circuits that they have. Not Silverstone main circuit, they've got their own circuit within. And I spent 4 hours yesterday literally ragging the heck out of a Porsche around these circuits. And I thought it would be very reserved. I thought we'd get there and it would be very much a case of you're going too fast, slow down, slow down.
Put your foot on the pedal.
And they were encouraging me. And I've got a bit of racing experience. I've done 12, 13 years circuit racing. So I do.
How old are you? 12, 13 years? I think I was born
then. When I was 14. I did start when I was 14. But anyway, so I do have a bit of experience on circuit. And I thought they would be very, very much, no, you're going too fast. And I was proper pushing it. And they were encouraging me to go faster and faster and faster. And like, it was pretty hair-raising, to be honest. Even like, there was other cars on the circuit as well, all part of the Porsche day, and we were quite close. And I thought they'd be backing us up, but no. And
is this in your car?
No, it wasn't in my car. It was in their car. I wouldn't do it in my one.
Bye wheels.
But it was the same model Porsche Cayman GTS, which Porsche say it's the best Porsche they've ever designed. They reckon it's better designed for speed and for handling than the Porsche 911.
They made it for you, Alistair.
Well, it's got carbon chassis. It's amazing. Carbon slick lines.
I don't know what that is.
But no, do you know something interesting? Like, I was proper going some with it yesterday, and my near side front tyre shredded its rubber because I'd worked the tyre so much.
Of the Porsche? Yeah. Oh my God.
A load of, 15 minutes before the end, we heard a load of banging noises, and the top layer of rubber come off the tyre, and it was hitting the wheel arch, and we had to stop. But that happened.
Did they charge you for it?
No. That happened just as we were going down the main straight. We were doing about 100, 110, and it happened, and it just happened before I went into the corner. So it was interesting, mate. It was I loved it. I absolutely loved it. So to do this, it's £1,000 to do this, right? I'm going to pay and do it again with Russell when he gets to drive. You should
give it to you for free. You've just bought a bloody car off.
Well, I got yesterday for free.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, that was amazing. So that's what we've been up to. I hope you guys have had an amazing week. So that brings us on to this week's topic, which is something we get asked a lot. And I'll say this from stage all the time. Business and property is about people.
Yeah.
Because I cannot remember the last time a house actually came to me and said, please buy me. Right? It was the person that owned it come to me. So it's about relationships that you have with people. Money comes from people.
Yeah.
A house can't transfer you cash, whereas people can transfer you cash. So I want to talk about the best ways to go about networking. Now, you've got another business as well. What do you do? What do you think of networking? Does it scare you?
No, I'm actually a really good networker.
I knew you would be.
Let's get ready for this. My mum says if I fell down the toilet, I'd come up with a gold watch.
Yeah.
So it's like, never assume whoever you're talking to because you just do not know. So as a prime example, so I went to see Kinky Boots theatre production.
Okay.
And 4 rows down, there was some empty seats. I was like, I need to hijack them because I'm in a crap seat and that one looks better.
Right.
So I waited for the intermission and then skipped 4 seats down.
Yeah.
And I was chatting to my friends about like the film, and then 2 ladies next to us like, oh yeah, we can vouch for that. The film of this of Kinky Boots is really good. And then we just got chatting away, and I was like, oh, what do you do? Now, normally in London, because people are quite reserved, they would have been like, oh, shut up, don't speak to me. Yeah. But like, Northerners...
Was that your English accent?
I don't know what it was. It was.
You went a bit from
Liverpool. I thought it was really nice.
You went away from Liverpool to London. Right? Oh, shut up.
So shut up. So chatting to these women, and obviously my other business is a fashion brand.
Yeah.
And this woman just happened to be a pattern cutter, which I was looking for. So it was like, literally, yeah. And then let's skip forward. So 3 months down the line, I ended up getting approached by the Spice Girls. And they literally said, we've got this big job on. I had to sign an NDA. And only through meeting her, I was able to do the job because she had the machinery that I needed to do it. So if I wouldn't have if I wouldn't have spoke to her, I would not have been able to take that job because she had special equipment to help me do it. And now this woman is my line manager. And now we work together, and we've done Britain's Got Talent, X Factor, we've worked for the BBC, all from just chatting to her in the theatre. And
being a cheapskate.
Yeah.
By moving down to get better seats.
I climbed over them seats. I'm not messing. I climbed over them seats.
That's actually amazing. So that's one example of a really good case of just networking.
I could have not wanted to speak to her, but I didn't assume. It's like I will chat to anyone.
Ben, I've known you about 7-8 months, and I've never known you not smile and not be happy, I've just never known you not be like that. I've always known you as the person that wants to talk to everybody.
Yeah.
And that's the key to networking is talk to everybody.
Yeah.
Tell everybody what you're doing. Don't be ashamed or don't be shy about what you do. Stand out there, tell the world. We run a program called Tell the World because we want to encourage people to tell the world what they're doing and stand on stage and speak about things. Now, I do, obviously, we promote a lot of networking. We run networking events. We attend networking events. And I say to people all the time, are you doing your 20-second pitch? So 20-second pitch, for those that don't know it, at most networking events, you'll get the opportunity to stand up, say who you are and what you're there for.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to sell and you're not allowed to ask for a joint venture.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if you're trying to network if your aim at networking is to get some money or to, I don't know, get a joint venture partner, the first thing you're going to do is not ask them for money and not ask them. First thing, rule number 1, networking, never ask for money. Yeah. Never. The money will come after you've added value.
You need to aim for a relationship and a connection.
Build
first.
a relationship first, absolutely. Oh, there's somebody's car getting clamped outside.
It's his Porsche.
The money will come after the relationship. And don't be that person that stands up at a networking event and goes, oh yeah, I'm an amazing deal source, I've got all these amazing deals, come and see me in the break. Stand up and offer value to somebody. Offer to help them.
Even friendship. Like, it doesn't
friendship.
have to be something. Here's another example. Like, you have to trust the process. So, literally before the Spice Girls, I was still doing my fashion brand, but I was working in a hotel as a waiter. Like, you've got to do the grind. Like, you've just got to do everything to get where you want to be.
Yeah.
So I used to chat to everyone in this hotel. I had an investor list of 20 very successful women. Very successful women who loved everything that I was doing towards like design and things like that. And so they just gave me their contacts and said, when you're ready, just drop us a little email. We want to come to your fashion show, blah, blah, blah. So I got chatting to a woman and she was just sitting there and I just said, you look like you're having a really good time. Because she had a little pot of tea, a honey, she was reading the paper. And then we just hit it off. And then I just told her we kept in touch. A couple of weeks later, I was leaving work and this is quite serious now. And a man jumped off Blackfriars Bridge. So I jumped in and saved him. And before I jumped in, I called the police. So I had my phone in one hand and then I was trying to throw a rubber ring in. It missed, ended up in Blackpool. Threw another ring in and it actually caught him. So then I gave my phone and bag to a stranger, jumped in, waited for the police boat, kept hold of this man. It was all over the papers and everything. My dad called me, he was like, what's this on the front paper? He was like, the Christmas miracle. I was like, oh, I'll tell you later. So that was all over the papers. So then my friend who I met in the hotel as a waiter chatting, she invited me to her apartment to meet the building manager. And she went, I believe you're doing fashion and you want to do a fashion show for Fashion Week. She went, I've got something to show you. This is networking again, guys. So she shows me this rooftop garden, which was huge, like absolutely huge in South Bank. It was like 20 grand. And she was like, yeah, do you want to do your fashion show here? I was like, listen, love, I ain't got that type of money. You can have it for free.
Oh, amazing.
Or from chatting to a woman in the hotel, you've just got to talk to people.
Listen, that's come because you're talking to everybody and you're nice and you're doing a good deed before you're
before you want anything.
Okay, obviously the situation with the guy at Blackfriars Bridge is that wasn't a planned do your good deed. It was just you were there and you're not shy to get involved.
But it's trusting that process.
Of course it is. What I mean? You've got to put in the grind before you get anywhere.
Yeah.
So don't think you can go to a networking event, stand up, and you're going to get flooded by people saying, oh, there's 20 grand, there's 30 grand, there's 40 grand. It's never going to happen. You have to add value to people. They have to know, like, and trust you. I say this all the time. KLT, they have to know you, they have to like you, and they have to trust you before they'll do any business with you. Now, one of the key things with networking is you have to know what you want. Yeah. So when you go to a networking event, why are you there? What are you there for? What's your agenda for being there? It shouldn't be just to raise money. You want to build your network of people because sometimes it might not be about money. Yeah. You might not just need them for money. You might need them for the fact that you got that roof terrace. Yeah.
It's like commission and sort of opportunities don't always come from money. It could be someone that they know. But if they don't like you, they're not going to put you onto that person.
No, of course not.
Do you know what I mean? So you've got to, it's relationships first.
100% relationships first, and talk to everybody. Like, talk to people in the underground, talk to people in the trains, public transport, when you're out and about, when you're at a shop, when you're in a restaurant, when you're at a cinema. Just talk to everybody.
Yeah, here's an example of that, of how people miss the easy steps.
Yeah.
They all think that getting money is like the hard thing, but it's like the easy thing is you just have to speak to people. So
let me tell you something about money. There is an infinite amount of money in the world.
Empty his pockets. They were empty before.
He
actually opened them. They were empty.
It's called I don't carry cash. I've got somebody comes behind me and he pays for everything from me. No, I'm kidding. My point being, look, there's an infinite amount of money.
Yeah.
Infinite. There's loads of money out there. Money is not in short supply. Get that out your head if you think it is. It really isn't. What's in short supply is good relationships.
Yeah. True.
Good relationships. And remember that. Again, bricks and mortar don't bring you money. People bring you money. So networking is all about building relationships. Back to your story, sorry.
So it's like, I think at one of our events, I had a guy asking me, he's like, I've got these deals to sell and can I get James's and Anthony's email? I was like, dude, you're in a room with like 400 people who are looking to buy properties. Yeah. I was like, why are you looking for people that you can't see when you're sitting around them all? And then there was like a guy specifically who had on his t-shirt, I'm an investor, come and speak to me.
Howard.
Yeah. I was like, have you spoke to him? He was like, no.
Well, why not?
I was like, The answer's there. He's looking to buy property.
Yeah.
How have you not spoke to him? And you're looking for people to sell property to? It's like, do you see what I'm saying?
Oh no, you don't need to.
Like, open your eyes. Open your eyes.
Yeah.
I was like,
opportunities are so around. They're everywhere, aren't they? They're around you. They're everywhere. And the amazing thing being is, at this event, there was a guy there with a T-shirt that said, "I'm an investor and I'm looking to buy."
Genius.
Right? And do you know what? The amount of people that weren't even speaking to him.
I know.
What is crazy? Just go and speak to this guy. You need to.
I think that's fear. That people, I think that's fear. It's like they just. I don't know what. Just do it. It's like you just have to do it. If anything, practice talking to a stranger in the street. It's like if you can't do that, just do that.
Did you meet John Raybould yesterday? He was in the office. Did you meet him yesterday? The guy with blue jacket. He came to do filming yesterday.
Yes.
John Raybould, right? John Raybould, he's an academy student, and he will literally talk to anybody.
Is it?
He will literally, and you maybe don't think so, but he will. I've been with him, and me and him were out in Leicester Square months ago on a Saturday, a random during the day. We went out to just have a few drinks, whatever, just chat, whatever. And I gave him a challenge, and I said, I'll give you £100 if you, by the time we walked from Leicester Square to Covent Garden, so it's only a 4 or 5 minute walk. It's not a big walk. I said, I'll give you £100 if you can talk to whoever you want on the way there, and if you can find somebody that's potentially interested in a property deal.
Oh my God.
Right? Potentially interested in becoming an investor or investing in property. I'll give you £100. And he literally, the whole way there, was just chatting to random people, talking to random people, and he got somebody to say, yeah, I'm interested, but he didn't get the phone number, he got the email address.
Oh, was a little cheeky T&C in there? Was that small print?
Small print, isn't it? So my point being is, investors are everywhere. But so what he done was he was talking to everybody, and he got somebody who liked him. They had a 10-15 minute conversation, and they exchanged emails. And now I believe they have been in touch since. Now another instance with young John is he done the same thing on his own without me being there, in Oxford Street, and he got some guy. This is 100% genuine happened, and I've got photographs of this. There was a guy outside Selfridges in a Lamborghini, and the guy that was in the Lamborghini saw what John was doing, just talking to him, and he said, "What are you doing, John?"
Oh, gee, I love it already.
And then John said, "Well, I'm just chatting to people I work in property, and I'm looking to sort of help people with property and whatever." And he got chatting to this guy in a Lamborghini. Turns out that guy in the Lamborghini was some wealthy guy from Dubai or something like that. In the end, they've not done business together, but because John was doing that, he stepped up and said, "Look, there's my details. If you ever need anything, give me a call." So it's the people.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because John could go to this guy and say, "Look, I need a bit of help." Because he was in business and he's got a lot of business experience. So it's not always about what money you can get out of them, but what contacts can you get out of them? What help can you get out of them? What information can they help you with that you wouldn't normally get?
See, these stories are perfect because this is literally what makes every business tick. Like, because without these people, it doesn't happen. Like another instance like that, like through the training that we've done here, the Grand Cardo and stuff, which is amazing. Like that just becomes second nature. I got invited to see Share VIP with another client. So we had this booth for
Was that
free.
the real Share?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was like...
No. So got invited to the real Share in the O2... is it O2 Arena? I don't go out much. So we went. So obviously the booths had a lot of money, but we got it for free from the stadium. And so from the training, it was like, whatever you are is like it's the training says, don't go to restaurants you can afford, go one step up and mix with them people. Yeah. So I thought I wouldn't have bought this booth. I was like, so who's around me that I could put in my circle? So there's this really elegant woman like this, like dancing to Cher, and I was like, she looks great. So I just went up to her, I was like, do you like Cher? You know, having a good time? And she was like, darling, I just love it, darling. I was like, oh my God, I love your accent. And she was like, oh, we use off the TV. I was like, I'm not. I was like, but they are. I just design the clothes. And she was like, oh, darling, I watch it every week, darling. And I was like, I just love your accent. I was like, what do you do? And she was like, oh, you wouldn't be interested. She was like, it's really bored. And I was like, no, come on. I was like, test me. She went, I'm a property investor. And I was like, wow. I was like, I actually work for a property investment company. I was like, what area do you dominate? What's your patch? She was like, what's your strategy? And she was like, darling, you know all the words. And now I'm actually moving house and I'm meeting her on Friday to get a 1-bedroom flat around here.
Oh,
see what
amazing.
I mean? Like,
connections, isn't it?
Like these stories, it's like you need to just build up an archive of them because they're going to drive you to make your business grow.
100%. Right, okay, some useful tips for networking.
Yes.
Number one, have an agenda, have a plan. What are you there for? What do you want? What are you looking for? Number two, talk to everybody. Don't be ashamed of what you're doing. Talk to everybody and tell everybody.
Offer friendship.
Yeah.
Costs nothing.
Yeah.
You might just be good friends in the end.
Exactly. Number three, offer friendship.
Yeah.
Offer value. Don't just go in there. Don't go in there for the kill. Don't go in there for the please give me some money.
Yeah.
Offer, number four, never ask for money.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a joint venture, if you say you've got a property you're looking to raise finance on, I have never asked for money, but yet I've got abundances of it from investors.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I've offered enough value to them that they bring it to me.
Yeah.
So you need to start attracting investors to
Yeah.
you. Now, I attract a lot of investors. I have people messaging me weekly offering to do joint ventures with me, get involved with me. Now, when I say don't ask for money, don't ask for money. But if you're looking to raise money for a deal, this is how I would do it. I would package a deal up, make it look pretty, make it look what it is. Always, all the numbers are very accurate. And I would just say to yourself, after we've added value, after we've got to know each other and we've got a relationship, I would just say, look, Ben, I've got this amazing deal. The return on investment is going to be about 30%. Do you know anybody that might be interested in getting involved in this?
Takes off the pressure of you.
Because I've not asked you, I'm not asking you, I'm asking, do you know anybody that might, anyone that's in property that's got a little bit of money about that might be interested in investing? And instantly, if you've got money in the bank, you're thinking, and you're looking at it, you're thinking, actually, I could do that. But I've not asked you. Never ask directly for money. Always just add value, present a deal. After you've added value, you've got a relationship, and then take it from there. And next, just have fun. When you're at events, like when you're at Share, you're having fun. You're socialising, you're having fun.
I forget I'm working because it's just all about...
It needs to become second nature to you. Networking should become second nature. Be nice to everybody, just have fun, chat to everybody, and just get out there, tell everyone what you do, and just have a laugh. Yeah. That's what you were doing at Share. That's what I do all the times I go out networking. I have a laugh. We're all people at the end of the day. Yeah. We're all normal people. We're just doing well.
Yeah, like with myself, I class myself as like an elite optimist. Like I always think everything's always working out. Like even if you think something's going a bit pear-shaped, you need to get that skill of thinking it's going to work out. You can look back at any situation you've been in that seems to be going tits up, and then it works out. If you can develop that habit constantly, then nothing will ever become an issue.
Do you know what? Before we move on, one thing I will say is, a lot of people spend a lot of time lying, worrying about problems that never happen. It's reality. They never happen. So, on that bombshell, time for the news. So, in the news this week, can my landlord control my heating system in my property? Okay, so there's a news article, it's in the BBC at the minute. Can my landlord lock my thermostat in a box? What's common in a lot of rental properties is you'll see the thermostat is in a clear plastic box, so it's locked, so the tenants can't actually control the temperature. So what they do is they set it to a prescribed temperature, so it comes on at the same times every day, and it stops tenants changing the temperature all the time. Let me just read a little bit of the article. So on Saturday afternoon, the hot water went off in Alex Milsom's house in West London. Discussing the problem with his housemates on WhatsApp, one person replied, "It's because there's a cage on the thermostat." I said I would put the water back on, but obviously I couldn't get past the new lockbox. His landlady had visited the property to install a clear thermostat cover over the Google Nest thermostat, which controls heating and hot water. Basically what happens is landlords put a box, they lock the thermostat, stop tenants right...
You got a lock on your box?
I have my heating controlled, yes.
Is it?
I'll tell you why, let me tell you why.
Pros and cons.
From a landlord's point of view, I've got several houses, I've got several HMOs, and any HMO owners amongst us will understand this and you will feel my pain. It can be the middle of summer or it can be the middle of winter. But if you allow the tenants to control it, the temperature will be at full, the water will be on all day, they're not there, and most of the windows in the house are open. Yeah. True. Every time I used to go to, my management used to go to the house, the heating was on full and the windows were always open upstairs. Ugh. So the house is boiling, but and there's fresh air rotating. And also the hot water was always switch to constant. Now they just don't need it. So we installed Google Nests, I think, the one that you can control from afar.
So digitally?
Yeah, you control it digitally.
Like that.
So you can control it from anywhere. And my management company control it in the sense of, so the water's on in the morning, the hot water and the heating's on in the morning from like 5 o'clock in the morning till 10 o'clock. Then it goes off.
Is this student specific or any type of HMOs?
This is any HMOs.
So say if you had working professionals.
I don't have students. I only have working professionals.
So if you have working professionals, and obviously would you say you have a bit more trust in them to be reliable? If they said, can you change it, would you?
Yes.
Okay.
I would always change it if they want more, but I'm not going to allow them to have the water on constant, because I had a electric bill and gas bill come in for the quarter was over £1,000 because they had it on full constantly. Now, I don't mind a little bit of fluctuation in the prices, but that's just silly.
If anything, it's energy efficient, because if you're controlling it,
of course
it's not wasting, which I'm all about.
Of course.
So
in my properties, the electric and the heating and the gas come on, the heating and the water come on at 5 in the morning, go off at 10. So that's 5 hours of hot water and heating.
Perfect.
So when they wake up, it's warm. And then the heating goes off and the water goes off during the day, and then it comes on again at like 5 o'clock.
They'll be working anyway.
Working, and then it comes on at like 5 or 6, stays on till like 10 o'clock at night. And
so get to bed at 10 before you freeze.
Yeah, but even then, it's got hot water tanks.
No, I think it's good.
So even if the heating goes off at 10, there's still hot water there. So there's always, and I don't have any complaints, and we have the temperature set to 21 degrees throughout the house at all times. So I don't have any complaints from any of my tenants. Where they're complaining is obviously if they're in the house a lot, things like that, then and they can't turn the temperature up when they want and things like that. But
if you've got working professionals, you're mainly going to get that anyway, isn't it? So them hours, I think, are great in case they did leave the heating on, and then it's just a waste.
The thing is, if I would happily, and I'm sure most landlords would happily give them control, but then we charge them for the electric and charge them for the gas.
The thing is, we're northern, so summer to us is like tropicals.
True.
Winter is our heat wave.
In this room, we're in this room, right?
Turn our radiators.
You've got New over there, our videographer, who's wearing a jacket, and like me and him are just in like one layer of clothing, and we're both hot. And it's like
I want to start in the winter. I've turned the radiator off already.
You turned the radiator off.
We need some heating controls in here. Where's the landlord?
We don't worry about it. It is what it is. At the end of the day, you just have to watch your bills. At the end of the day, we're running a business. We cannot afford for our bills to be sky high because tenants are just willy nilly changing the temperature and having the gas, the heating and the water on all day. All my properties have heating and water controlled by the management team. And it is what it is. So that's what we do.
But you said yourself you're open to negotiation if it needs to change. So it's not an issue.
I'm not too bothered.
Yeah.
I don't have any complaints or any problems.
Put a coat on. Put a coat on.
Yeah. and all my HMOs are full, and I have no problems. Good thing being is a lot of my HMOs, like one of my HMOs is full of Polish workers. And they've come over just to work for 6 months, and they're used to being cold.
Yeah.
They don't mind the cold.
I love the cold.
They don't mind it.
Love the cold.
I would rather be cold and wrap up as opposed to be hot and have to...
Cold's fresher.
Yeah, and it stops the bugs as well.
Yeah, fresher.
So,
word about it.
On that note, let's move on. Okay guys, welcome to this week's question and answer session. So earlier on today, me and Ben done a wonderful Facebook Live on Property Investors with Simon Leeds. We asked for your questions. We've got several there. We also have questions coming from YouTube, and also anyone that messages myself on Instagram, which is Alastair_Cunningham or Russell.Leeds. Just stick them on Instagram. We'll also answer them.
So we've got a question here from Matt Pedal. Can a newbie genuinely generate finance for a no money down deal?
Okay, in a nutshell, yes. Anybody can generate no money down deals. Now remember this, just because we say it's no money down, it doesn't mean there's still money going down, okay? Let's be very clear on that. It's still money.
And stuff.
You've got money for legals, you've got money for contracts, you've got money for deposits, etc., etc., etc. It just doesn't have to be your money. Now, I'll be very clear on that. It does not have to be your money. Everybody say that. It does not have to be my money, okay? So get that out of your head that it's no money down. Now, as a newbie coming into the business, let's go back to what we talked about in the networking session. Add value to people before you ask them for money. So talk to them, get to know them, build a rapport, build a relationship, present deals to them and say, look, I'm interested in somebody financing this. Now, for a newbie to do a complete no money down deal, what are you bringing to the table that the investor, shall we say, is going to finance? So what's to stop them just doing it themselves?
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to get at. So, like, for instance, I get many people ask me to help them fund deals on a daily basis. And to be honest, they're not bringing anything to me apart from a deal. They're not bringing experience. They're not bringing education. They've got to bring something to me that I cannot get.
Yeah.
And the reality is, most of the deals that people bring to me, they're very easily achievable elsewhere. So I don't need them involved in the equation. So make sure that when you're doing a no money down deal and you're looking to raise finance for that, bring something to the table that they can't get themselves.
Here's a fun example of that. So basically, knowledge is an asset as 100%. Well. So like with, if we go back to the story about me meeting the person in Kinky Boots, just chatting. So as I was starting to learn about property, I found out that she'd bought a house in auction cash for 280.
All right.
And I was like, that's a lot of money. She could have split that over 4 and then did HMO. So all this was ticking over. I thought, I won't say anything. I'll just let it develop. So anyway, got her on the crash course, didn't I? And then I actually, because she saw how much I knew and what she could do with it, she's joint ventured with me, and I'm 50% shareholder of that property company, which has got 180k ready to invest in property.
See?
So what I'm offering is what I know and how she can sort of spread that over and make an income. So that's cost me nothing and just gained me a lot. So it's very possible.
Guys, I hope that answers your question. Ben is doing it, and Ben is amazing at it. I'm doing this. I'm amazing at it.
Yeah.
Just add value before you ask for money. No money down deals are very, very possible. But remember, somebody's got to put money in. You just have to know that person.
It's like you make the money.
Comes back to networking.
Yeah, you make money the last thing, and then everything else before it, and then it follows.
I think that's a really good lesson. Money is the last thing that comes.
Yeah.
Find the deal, find the investor, get to know them,
100%.
build that relationship, then the money will follow.
Yes.
I see this all the time. Okay, next question. Okay, this is from Johnny Peters. Hey guys, very nice to meet you both the other day at Infinite Returns. So I'm trying to create my short presentation for a PIN meeting to add value to myself, to others, to offers to others. Okay, any ideas for a checklist here would help me guide me. Right, okay, so you're trying to do a 20-second pitch for a PIN meeting or a presentation. Listen, what is that 20-second, what's your agenda? So before you can do a 20-second pitch, you need to work out what your agenda is. For instance, if you're there just to add value and to network, what are you good at? What do you know? For instance, let me give you an example. If you are a builder, or if you work in the building trade, my 20-second pitch would be something along the lines of this. I'll do one actually, it's easier. My 20-second pitch would be this. Hey, my name's Alistair Cunningham. I have a lot of expertise in the building industry. If anyone in this room would like me to come and view a property with them or to assess a property with them free of charge, I'll very happily do that. Just come and catch me in the break.
Yeah.
So what are you doing at that? You're not selling anything to them.
And you're not asking them for anything.
And you're not asking them for anything. You're giving them something. Now, the reality is you might have to do a lot of viewings with people
but
free
still,
of charge.
It's building up that skill, isn't it?
You're building up a relationship with people. The likelihood is, if you're a builder, they will bring work to you. So you'll go and view the property and then they'll get you to also quote for the work. And the other thing being is you've then got that relationship for potential future joint ventures.
And you should be going to viewings anyway.
Yes, exactly.
So you can never go to enough.
And I would just, that's an example of a builder. And we could do it for another one. Like, hi, my name's Alistair Cunningham. I'm a tax specialist. If you want to sit down for a 20-minute consultation free of charge regarding how to set up your business for the best, most tax efficient way, completely free of charge, please come see me in the breaks. I know a woman that does this. I know a lady that's done this. I taught her how to do it. And she's getting really good connections.
Is it Sophia?
No, that's different. But no, she's getting really good connections with regards to she's a tax specialist in property. And she's attracting a lot of like high net worth individuals because they want to obviously save as much tax as possible. And she's doing like 20 minutes an hour, sit down with them. And then they're joint venture. And she's sold a few deals to them. So some of these people have bought some property from her. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
But this is what you do not do. And if you do this, me and you, Johnny, will have a few words at the next time we see you, okay? Me and you, we're watching you, bro. We're watching you, right? Listen, don't do this. Do not stand up and say, hey, my name's Johnny Peters. I'm an amazing deal sourcer. I've got lots of deals to sell. So if you're looking to buy a deal, I'm your next deal sourcer. Come and see me in the breaks. Or, hey, my name's Johnny Peters. I'm looking to raise some money because I've found this 20% return on investment property. So if you've got lots of money and you want to invest in your next deal, I'm your person for that.
Money last.
Don't do that.
No.
Money comes at the end, okay? Yeah. Always add value before you ask for anything.
And you want to have more deals than anything, because then you can just spread them out. So it's like money last.
And also, while we're talking about like networking events and things like that, make sure you're taking people's business cards and keep a note of them. And things
spreadsheets with everyone on.
Yeah, like a CRM system or just an Excel spreadsheet. Everyone's name, where you met them, how often you keep in touch with them. Yeah. And if one very, very key thing, this is back to the networking earlier. If you say you're going to do something with somebody, do it. So if you say, hey, Ben, I met you at a networking event last week. I'm going to call you in 3 weeks. Call them in 3 weeks. Keep in touch.
I always try and have a 24-hour period when I contact people, because it's still fresh in the mind of when we met. I just think 24 hours is like my limit that I'll leave something. Because it's like you need to get it while it's fresh, because everyone's meeting a lot of people. But if you can commit to that in that 24 hours, you're going to be more memorable. Yeah.
Okay, so that's that. Hopefully, Johnny, that's been helpful. Right, okay, so we do have another question. This was a message via Instagram. Hold on, let me just find it. Message via Instagram, and it is from Rajesh. I can't pronounce his surname. So it's from Rajesh. And basically, what he wants to know, it's a very long message, but I'll sum it up. What he wants to know are the main things that are required for deal sourcing. So he wants to get involved in deal sourcing. He wants to know the main legalities for deal sourcing. So I'll cover them very quickly, and then we'll get wrapped up. So the first thing you're going to need is you're going to have a limited company set up. So you're going to have to make sure the business is set up legally. When you're doing this, use the SIC code, the SIC code, 68310. So set your limited company up. Do not use the name sourcer in your business, because you're going to be going to estate agents, and if you say my name's Rajesh and I'm from Rajesh's sourcing company, doesn't look good. They don't like dealing with sourcers, so I would keep that word out. I would just say I'm Rajesh Properties, okay? And then so you have to have a limited company set up. SIC code 68310. You have to be a member of the property redress scheme. So there's two: the property redress scheme itself, or the property ombudsman. You have to be a member of one. Now basically they're an intermediary that sit above any dispute you have with any clients. They will then get involved and they will mediate. There will be the mediation. You have to be a member of the anti-money laundering registration scheme. So HMRC, you have to join the anti-money laundering register. That takes 6 to 8 weeks to be approved. And it costs £490, I believe. You need things like a data protection license, and you need insurances. So you need professional indemnity insurance, public liability insurance, and vehicle insurance. If you're using your vehicle to go out and do viewings, whatever, it needs to be insured for business. Okay. And there's things such as you have to have legal contracts in place, terms and conditions, risk assessments, policies, method statements in place. So that's a nutshell. If you want more information, buy my book.
I've read this book.
Whatever it takes.
Now. Yeah.
It's got some stuff in there about it. Or get yourself along to the craft.
To be fair, I did read your book and I loved it. I was having in all honesty, I was having a bit of a down week, and I had a train journey, and I read that, and it really I was like, do you know what? This is what I'm here to do, and it really picked me up. It did, and amazing. I left you a good review.
Did you?
I just need the money
amazing.
Now. Yeah,
that's amazing. I'll give you the money later. Listen, guys, I hope that's been helpful. Ben, you have been amazing.
Thank you, Alistair. Better than Russell, guys. Yeah, like below, because this is better than Russell. Yeah.
Yeah, let us know. Now, listen, Ben, you guys are amazing. The client performance team is a really good team. They're really, their hearts are in the right place. They really love looking after their client members. There's now 3 of them. So yourself, is there 3 or 2?
There's a cluster, so to speak.
So who's on client performance?
So we've got me, Shazam, and Tom.
Okay, so there's 3 on there. And these are the guys that will be contacting all the new Academy members and welcoming them, making sure they're happy. So if you've got any questions regarding the Academy, client performance, get in touch with Ben. It's ben.mac@samuelleeds.com, and that's Mac with a K, M-A-K.
Not a curly K, kicking K.
Kicking K. Maybe the videographers can put our little link in there, so Ben will be inundated with emails. Guys, you've been amazing. I hope it's been well. I hope you've enjoyed the show this week. Remember, the show comes out on Saturday evening at 7 p.m. Catch up then, and we'll see you next week. Thank you very much, guys.
Thanks, Alistair.